Hey guys, so today we have a new weird unhinged drama, and this one is extremely unhinged. I actually don't understand how this has even begun to happen and the entitlement that would lead someone to do this. But anyway, subscribe with the bell icon for engagement. Let's just get into it. We have bakery drama. I know. How many more of these are we going to come up with? We have so many. So this is the OG video. It's obviously been deleted, and this person, I don't even know what their original account looked like, because now not only does their original account not really exist, the video got taken down, but then also there is some confusion about which account is hers, and there seems to be someone impersonating her, or maybe she's got this weird account and then she's pretending it's not hers. I don't really know, but this is the original video that someone has reposted. So her original TikTok was called Glamorama, and she's obviously in Phoenix, Arizona, just reviewing a pastry place. So let's peruse this, guys.
People, I do not mind spending $10 on a pastry if they are really good, but you cannot use fake ass ingredients. That pistachio color is about as natural as my boobs, ass, and waistline. The coffee was super sour and acidic, but I prefer a creamy chocolatey espresso. $5 for a canali. I didn't even pay that in Santro fucking paid, but that's the price next to the Phoenix airport. Okay. I was also super disappointed in the quiche. I prefer a quiche with a thick, rich, buttery crust. This had a paper thin crust. If I wanted to ingest this much eggs, I would have eaten an omelet. I absolutely loved the pumpkin pie croissant, but everything was a little on the sweet and rich side, which some people love. Personally, I like my sweets a little less sweet, so I'd rather get treated like shit and go to Paris again. Now, with all of that being said, I think if you stay away from the expensive ingredients like these nuts.
So she's obviously not a very serious reviewer anyway. Seems a bit rage baity to me, if anything, but this was the response from the patisserie, and this is on about 70 million views. If I did a review and if the place responded and got 70 million views, I would also take down my account. Yeah, I'd probably also take down all my accounts and take down the original video. So this is the response from the bakery.
So we recently had an influencer reach out to us and asked to do a collaboration, and we respectfully declined.
That's the missing link of this story. So she said, "Hello, many friends have highly recommended your pastries. They look amazing. I saw the pumpkin one on TikTok. I was hoping to come to a real Saturday or Sunday. Would you be interested in a collab? Thank you." By collab, she just means, would you like to comp me the bill so that I can not pay? That's why she was complaining about the price of things, because she was hoping for a free snack.
And we respectfully declined because it was not in our budget right now. Then she essentially tried to blackmail us by saying if we offer the food for free,
when it's a collab, I will still do the honest review and highlight focus on what I enjoyed and be softer, quicker on my words with what I may not like as much. If the experience is terrible, I won't post anything for the kindness of the hospitality. The meal will need to be comped, including the gratuity. So again, another influencer just being like, if you pay me, I'll lie, right? We see this a lot, guys. This is not right. This is not okay.
Then write a good review about us. I told her we'd think about it, but she still came in the next day. And although we hadn't agreed to collab with her, we recognized her when she came in, and we still were very accommodating and offered her extra drinks. So we totally respect a bad review, but what we don't like is lying and bullying. The first thing she said was that our pistachio was so faked. Fun fact, we have right here our pistachio paste that is 100% pistachios from Italy. All of our flours that we use in our product, the farine de blé, épeautre, gruyère rouge, all comes on the pallet from Europe. And also, this is our panettone flour, straight from Italy. It's written entirely in Italian. Not bad for close to the airport bakery. Beyond the fact that we spend 10 times the amount of money to buy the ingredients, the most valuable part of our product is the time we spend to make them. From our sourdough starter to our dough, every single thing is handmade from scratch.
To make this, we spent 6 months. Get to learn it, how to feed it, know how to work with it.
And it only likes the flour from Italy. And this isn't just about me. This specific influencer has gone to many different local restaurants and bullied them. The problem is if the next generation is influenced by her to believe it's okay to bully and disrespect the food industry. We like working with influencers, but acting like the working class is beneath you and promoting this kind of message on social media and bribing us for free stuff is not really something we support. My biggest pride in what I've built here isn't just how I source my ingredients, but it's having found the people to be in my team that wake up every day and that care about what we do, our processes, and that work really, really hard to do this. And most of all, thank you to our customers, sincerely, because it's thanks to you that since day one, I get to live my dream of having a bakery. And thanks to your support, I've been able to continue to be as true to my art.
This is genuinely one of the best responses to a drama that we've seen yet. I'm no wonder this got about 70 million views. It's on just under 8 million likes and 53,000 comments. I would actually cease to exist on the online space if this happened to me. Obviously, she deserves it, but still, I would obviously just cease to exist online. You'd never hear from me again. Someone said she changed her name, so it's no longer Glamorama, it's Oro Rag. And that's when it starts getting conflicting, because there's now 2 different accounts that are posting responses from her, and I just don't know which one's real, which one isn't. I think influencer is a generous description. She has less than 9,000 followers. Obviously, she's one of those micro influencers. And what I find, what people don't notice, or maybe they have, is that these micro influencers are more entitled than these massive accounts with millions of followers. It's always these under 10,000 follower people that are comp me my bill, do this, or I'll leave a negative. It's always these micro influencers that are doing this. She has 8,000 followers. Yeah, she's not an influencer. Influencers make way too much money to be asking for free things. And then Keith Lee, actually, focus on that. Hold it in your brain for later. I can't express how much I respect this response. Yeah, I love it. Like, this one's great. Accent alone tells you everything in that bakery is fresh. Yeah, I thought so too. I trust the accent. People are really, you know. I saw you before I'd even heard of her, so take that as a win. Yeah, I saw the response and not the original video before it got deleted. This is allegedly the response from a Glamorama, but this account has like 3 A's at the end, not 1, so I don't actually know who this is. But anyway, it's a Stitch coming, so I don't know if this is her, but...
And she essentially tried to blackmail us by saying if we offered to free, she would then write a good review about us. God damn, someone finally stood up to me. You know, I gotta say, fucking kudos, for real. I respect that, I do.
Ooh, let's actually slow that down. She speaks really quick. Okay.
What I don't respect are the lies. So, here are the receipts. You want the—
She said, hello, many friends have recommended what we saw. Hi, thanks for thinking of us. Unfortunately, right now we don't have the budget at all to spare, so we're gonna be able to do a paid partnership with you. Hope you understand. Thank you. Which is what the girl said anyway, the owner of the place. Hi, thank you for your response. I'm not sure if you're familiar with my page, but I do honest reviews. I do not charge for my content. When it's collab, I will still do the honest review and highlight, focus on what I enjoyed and be soft and quick on my words. If the experience is terrible, I won't post about it. The meal will need to be comped, including the gratuity. If this all looks like something you'd be interested in, let me know. Thank you. I mean, the added context doesn't actually add any context, which is why they didn't put it in the video, because it made no sense. Like, hi, thank you for your response. Like, that adds no... The context is the same. They didn't lie. They showed the same DMs, just with like slightly less words, but it's like the context stayed the same. Okay, thank you for clarifying. I'll let the team know and we'll get back to you, which basically means fuck off. And she said, sounds great. And then she said, hello, I never heard back from you. We went in this morning. The staff was very kind. The pastries are beautiful. There was definitely more miss than hit from what we ordered. She said, thank you for coming by and the feedback. Like, I don't know what you didn't understand from this that meant like, we are not giving you a free meal, babe. Free meals not around here. Go somewhere else.
He never said that I would leave a good review for a free meal. I have never done that, and I will never do that. So I think it's a bit of a stretch to say—
But you kind of did though. You kind of did say that though. Allegedly.
I was bullying you. You have way more followers than I do. You are way cooler than I am. I will admit that. Like, I would love to have the online presence that you do. So if anything, you're kind of punching down. My video got what, like 7,400, I think, maybe 12,000, 13,000 on Instagram. It didn't do great. I also said nice things in that video. I actually do think if you stay away from the nuts, if you're like me that don't like that fake pistachio flavor, I still have one of your other pastries here. Well, this one was a pistachio, so it hasn't been eaten yet. But the pumpkin one that I loved and raved about, I'm not exaggerating. I ate it about 2 hours ago, and I will say it's been frozen for days since Saturday. Pulled it out after about 30 minutes. It was still phenomenal, and I'll stand by that. We also didn't get free drinks. We did get a free shot of espresso, which was so nice. Like, the French man that works there, he was the sweetest man ever. I said I liked my coffee strong. He sent out a free shot of espresso. That was so, so nice. Regardless, Jenna, I respect your balls. I do respect your talent. It may not be always my taste, but I do respect your talent. I think you make beautiful pastries. I'd work on that quiche though. And I hope both your sides of your pillow are cold at night, and I do wish you nothing but the best.
This is that like fake positivity, like compliment someone, but where it's kind of like, it's a bit too late for that, babe, bit too late. So then someone said, I thought this ain't her no more. Her actual account, Aura Rag, said any post onwards isn't her. So then we have another TikTok on this. So now take this with a grain of salt, because now allegedly these just aren't her. So it says, hey everyone, I just want to clear something up because I think a lot of people misunderstood my video. I said that if something didn't taste good, I wouldn't post it. And since I did post it, that means it was actually good. The only thing I mentioned was the pistachio. It tasted a little different to me, but honestly I wasn't sure if it was the flavor or just my taste buds that day. It wasn't meant as hate at all. I really liked what I tried overall and just wanted to share my honest experience. I'm sorry if it came off the wrong way. That was never my intention. I appreciate everyone who's been watching and commenting. Then allegedly she said, y'all, just because I shared my honest opinion, I'm getting all this hate. Like, I can't share my own opinion. And then we have the last one that said, hey everyone, how's your day going? I've been really sick lately and honestly haven't had the energy for much. I know some people might think I'm a bad person, but that's not true. I've just been going through a lot and trying my best. Even looking at messages has been making me feel worse. So I've been quiet. Please keep me in your praise and send some positive energy my way. I truly hope everyone is doing okay and staying kind. But then on her account, she also has like a weird like TikTok about like lip liners. And then, can we get 5K by the end of the month? I feel like this is a troll. Like, I feel like this isn't actually her anymore. And then apparently her new account is Auto Rag, which I had the videos saved from this one because there were some videos here as well, but she's obviously gone private on this account and it has 115,000 likes, which means there was like a video here that had like a decent amount of views, but yeah, it's private now, so obviously I can't show you it. And actually I think the second video I saw about this whole situation was this one, which is like the girl that like parodies people on TikTok. So I saw the original like bakery respond, and then I saw this, and then I kind of went down the deep dive and saw the original videos that had been deleted.
I'm gonna give this cafe a good review until they refuse to give me free food, so they get a 0 out of 10. First of all, the fruit in this pastry was about as real as the tooth fairy. The custard was way too soft and creamy. It straight up melted in my mouth. I swear they're letting anyone call themselves a baker these days because I almost gagged while eating this. Bro, you have to try this. It's so fire. Since the cheap-ass owner made me pay for my own food, he really thought giving me a small iced latte would make up for it, but that was a pathetic move. This was a tiramisu flavored latte, and it literally tasted like tiramisu. Newsflash, sweetheart, just because I have a lot of cake doesn't mean I eat it, too. This is the best coffee I've ever had in my life. This spinach and feta pastry was way too fresh. It was so hot, I literally almost burned my entire hand off. It was also way too big. Like, nobody wants to eat all of this. I could barely take a bite. It was filled with spinach and feta. I was so scared. I could eat a million of these. The last disgusting thing I tried was the strawberry cloud donut, and it tasted like strawberries. The donut was way too soft and fluffy. It was like a pillow. It's funny how they were too cheap to give me free food, but they weren't too cheap to put way too much strawberry filling in this. Anyways, this place was a total fail, and I will never come here ever again.
And that obviously got more than 500,000 likes. And someone used the quote, like, people put this under comments, no, under videos. This is such a, like, you know when a chronically online joke happens and then you try and explain it to someone and you literally just can't even begin to explain it. It's a quote that says, "My steak is too juicy, my potatoes are too buttery." It's like, you know, someone complains about something that is a good thing. A girl will post a video being like, "Oh my god, like, my hair is just so long and shiny, it doesn't hold a curl." And people are like, "My steak is too juicy, my potatoes are too buttery." And then someone said, "But like, what bakery did you actually go to? That food looked fire. I need the location." It did look amazing. And then Keith Lee, obviously he left the comment. You guys don't know, Keith Lee is like a massive food reviewer, like one of the biggest on TikTok. And he left a comment under the original kind of like response from the bakery. And he has now made his own video about that, which, you know, it's bad when Keith Lee, the unproblematic guy, makes a video about your drama. Then you know you're really fucked up. And this has 1.6 million likes.
So we recently had an influencer reach out to us and asked to do a collaboration.
I think it's a conversation to be had here, and I think it's very important. So let's talk about it. First, I want to say I commend the chef for her response. Not only was it respectful, it was insightful. It taught me a lot as somebody who do food reviews, because I love seeing the behind the scenes of what goes into making art. And I think making food is art. And I'm not saying none of this is a dog pile, because if you know me, you know I don't do the bullying, I don't do the dog piling, I don't do none of that. But I think it's accountability that should be taken. When I say accountability, I mean on behalf of the food reviewer. Not because she was honest and because she said she didn't like the food. I think when you start allowing money to dictate what your opinion is, or to dictate or sway anything that has to do with your opinion, I think that's when you're wrong. And I know it may be like, oh, you successful. It's easy for you to say that. I've been honest since I was on a Paw Patrol chair and I was on food stamps and I was sitting at the little breakaway table or little pull down table that my daughter had. So I'm speaking from experience. I think there's a lot of value in what it is that we do. But I think the reason why we get paid on social media is to be authentic and to be ourselves and to be honest no matter what. And I know a lot of people don't share that same sentiment, but I'm just speaking for myself. And I think it's important to not only say that, but actually put your money where your mouth is. And in my case, I'm blessed enough to say that we just sent 40 people to the state fair. And I specifically said people and not creators, because it was people who had 40 followers. It was people who had 1,000 followers. It was all the way up to 200,000 followers. But it was people who just love food. And with that being said, we coming out paternity leave very soon. And I'm not saying I'm going to this restaurant, but what I am saying is that I love pastries and I'm a bread connoisseur. So if I am invited, I would love to come and get my honest opinion. Because to me, everything looked amazing, but I would love to come see for myself. And as always, I appreciate y'all. God bless you. Have an amazing day. I'll be safe. What you do with a little is what you do with a lot. If you say you're going to be honest now and you're not honest, you ain't going to be honest when you get 100 million followers. That's the way I feel.
He's so sweet a lot of the time. No, why did that sound so shady? He's so sweet all the time is what I wanted to say. And the bakery said, all this time and all you needed was an invite. We could have saved a lot of time here, Keith. And that got 240,000 likes. Someone said, you know, Glamorama is cooked when she's got even Keith Lee talking about what she did. Keith Lee, the only food reviewer we listen to, who was here since the Paw Patrol chair. Yeah, that's basically that. You know you fucked up when Keith Lee is getting involved because he never gets involved. And I thought the original video was crazy. I'm working on a video about like entitled influencers, and this could have made it into that, but it was big enough for it to be its own story. So I'm doing the entitled influencers in like a separate video. So that should be coming soon-ish. But you guys let me know what you think about this one. Subscribe, hit the bell icon for engagement. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.